Recording there.
We're recording everywhere. This is pretty legit.
Well,
This is way more than I can do on my own. my measly YouTube channel over on the vacation here ain't got nothing on your podcast.
no way, our podcast.
Okay, our podcast, but this is your brainchild.
A little bit, but it's because I miss creating with you.
I enjoy creating with you too.
Yeah, so
This is a little bit more accessible than the level of I feel like vlogging that we were previously doing.
100%. I mean, we have shot probably 8 vlogs.
Listen, shooting is not the problem.
No.
We go to Disney enough that we have enough content and things to talk about. Getting home and you being
Focused enough to edit it.
But no, you doing a full-time job where you are managing post-production.
Correct.
All day long. I come home and I am managing social media, which includes like 4 major platforms.
Yep.
And one of them is heavily video, like long-form video. When are we going to do this?
No. And I know enough of tricks and AI tools that we can edit a podcast just like that.
Ooh.
Okay. We haven't created in a while. Do you want to give a little bit of a life update?
Okay, so we haven't put out a vlog since Christmas of 2022.
Stop looking at the camera.
Okay.
We're going to probably get in a fight during this whole thing because it's been so long.
I was thinking, it was my thinking face. My eyes wander when I'm thinking.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, get off my tail. So the last time we put out like a full legit vlog piece was because we went to the Christmas party.
Was
last
it
year,
or
right?
was it the race? Was it the great?
We did that. That was like the same.
Same kind of vein, but it's been almost a full year since we've.
It's been almost. I mean, it's getting pretty close. November is right around the corner.
Yeah. That's wild.
November's right around the corner, but it's for a good reason.
Yeah.
One, your post-production business has picked up significantly. So there is a lot more projects to manage, stuff to edit.
Yeah.
When you've edited all day for your own job, which that's my job too. I'm social media managing over at the Vacationeer. So I still get to do my travel agent duties, but my main focus is social media management. And they have this really great YouTube platform that I got to be a part of. And so I'm editing most of the day for that platform, and I've gotten to go on some amazing trips because of that.
100%.
There is no time.
No.
If we want to have a family, which we do,
and a life outside of work.
there is not really double vlogging. So
100%.
if we're ever able to find a space to do it again, I 100% want to jump back on board, but this is fun.
Yeah.
We still get to talk about this because here's what I discovered. This is what I thought about last night laying in bed.
Okay.
That we are either on a Disney trip or planning our next Disney trip. And sometimes I am on a Disney trip planning our next Disney trip.
That's very true. I have texted you a number of times where I'm like, all right, can we go on a Disney trip now? Because you've gone, like we've talked about this, you've gone probably 14 times this year.
No.
Like, it feels like a lot.
I've done, like, it's crazy to think I have done 4 Disney cruises this year. I've not been on a Disney cruise before this year.
Oh, 100%.
And then we collectively have been to Disney World February, April, May, July.
Skipped to June.
We skipped June. October, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wait. February, April, May, July, October. We've been 5 times already, and we're still going one more time this year. In between that, I think I've been 3 additional times.
Yes, plus 4 cruises.
Some of them were back to back. It's okay.
100%. Yeah, I'm not blaming you at all.
But like, the crazy thing is, what was it? 2021. We left a planned vacation at a resort in the Keys because we realized we'd rather be at Disney.
Oh, 100%. What's funny is we were on this last trip in October, and you know how iPhones like create those memories, like that memory popped up, and we talked about this. It was the reason that we kind of started creating, because it's like, okay, we've gotten the Disney bug.
We did. And to the point where like we were those YouTube, like those people who couldn't get enough of everybody else's trips. We're like, why don't we create while we're doing something else that we love? And that's when it kind of like
opened the door.
Just blew up.
I don't know if it blew up as much as we just became obsessive.
We did become, but it did. Our obsession led us to now.
True.
To a place that I don't think 2 years ago, because legit, 2 years ago, October, 2 years ago was when we went on our trip.
Correct.
I would not be doing what I am currently doing
100%.
if we had not made the last minute decision. Like one of those decisions that you think don't mean anything, and it meant everything for where we were headed, and we had like no clue.
Yeah. I also think you think about it, like that was a year before that trip. Like I think my first Disney experience was that December.
December 2020 was the first time you went to Disney. Yeah. The amount of, I want to call it like Disney guzzling. It's just like, give us all the Disney.
Oh, 100%. But that kind of leads us to like why we changed the name a little bit of the channel. Like we changed it to On Holiday, because I think we're starting to explore not just Disney parks, not Disney cruises, but like we've even talked about like, what does it look like to internationally travel with our kids? What does it look like to drive down to the mountains? Like,
Livy repeatedly asked to go to the Grand Canyon and the Redwood Forest.
100%.
So like the bucket list of trips that our whole family wants to do has evolved, and 100%. I'm excited. Like these are things that I've always wanted to do too. And I love that the kids are on board for it.
100%.
And so, On Holiday now, we really like that idea of the UK culture.
I am basic. Like when I mean basic, what do you mean? Basic, meaning like I'm the guy that loves the baking show, which is not stereotypical.
We have a love for British culture.
Oh, 100%.
And I also wish that the US had the society norms of being on holiday
100%
as frequently as the British culture does.
Yeah.
So, in a way, we have taken a hold of our own lives.
like every millennial has talked about is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to work. I'm going to do this. Like we live to travel, like to a degree, like, and we work to travel.
And we work to travel.
Yeah.
Like legitimately 2020 shifted a lot of perspectives. And this is something we always wanted to do. And we don't want to wait till we're old to do it.
I think you shared, I was going to say a story, but let's just say a TikTok the other day. And a lot of like when we're growing up, we talk about financial investments, making sure that we're like fiscally, hard word, responsible for our money and like retirement. And I think that is very important. Like we've done Dave Ramsey, all of that. But I also think one thing that we need to realize, and I think that this is one thing we've realized with our kids, is investing in memories that are going to last so much longer than this. It's like,
and travel is that for us. 100%. I feel like, there are other ways and times that we create significant memories with our family, but for us, I think travel was on our heart, and our kids have like easily fell into that too. And I'll tell you what, we don't do a lot of extracurriculars, but my kids are playing pros.
Oh,
like 100%. They know they could probably get me in and out of the MCO airport.
Yeah. Well, and even the BNA airport. All right, there is a level that they are constant. Like we had to reel them back a little bit last time we were traveling, because they were like a little too comfortable with like the the process. Like, oh, here we go, and they'll run ahead of us, and I'm like, okay, we do need to reel this back in just a hair, because they're so used to like, hey, are we renting a car? Are we riding a bus? Are we going to take a minivan? Or, are we going to take this as a monorail trip? Like, they really have been.
TSA is no deal for them. They're like, whatever.
Yeah. They do. When they ask their age, they're like, I'm timid because it's a stranger. But, like, other than that, they're like, hey, are we going to get something at Shake Shack, or can I have a snack? I'm hungry. Like, they know the tips and tricks. But I think what's fascinating, I think reason why travel is so important to us is, I don't know. One of my good friends, Larry Hubaka, we've talked about this, has always said that like he wants his kids when they grow up to come back and move. So like whether it's like a destination or a travel vacation, like he's got older kids. And so, he's always wanting to build experiences so that they come back. And I think that that's not what we want to do with our kids, is like when they're 18, when they're 25, 30 and they have their own family, like it's still normal to go travel with mom and dad because we've done it so much and it's so fun.
I also love the things that you learn when you travel that you can't learn from just reading or watching something.
What do you mean by that?
So like different personalities, different families, and we haven't gotten into different culture or different like regions of even the US to like see how life is different and for our kids to experience that. I mean, we live in Middle Tennessee where it is country, literally the capital of country music. And so like it is very stereotypical of what you would think of 100%. Nashville. And I'm excited for the time in our life later on where they get to experience different levels of socioeconomic and just culturally and how people relate to each other and what's important in those different cultures. And I think it only truly sinks in when you are physically in that place.
When you say that, we haven't been to any place that like other than the U.S. or even probably Southeast with our kids. We chose Disney 2 years ago to focus really hard on the travel. 3 years ago. Why did we choose Disney? Why did you steer us in the direction of Disney? And I think that this is super helpful for people. But like, why did you steer us to Disney?
So, I mean, for years on and off, we've done mountain trip, beach trip. We lived in North Carolina, so like those different terrains were available to us. We love going to the mountains. You don't mind going to the beach. But I mean, and we did the traditional beach trip, but a lot of the time when we go to those places, because we weren't going to resorts, we were like staying somewhere and making our own agenda, which can be really fun. And we've had a lot of great memories doing that. But with our littles, it felt like relocating the chaos sometimes. So like if we were at the beach for a week, we were still completely grocery shopping. We were still like, I was doing all the diapers, but
we're
now
still doing nap times.
I mean, like, and sand everywhere, you know, and they still got bored. So like you still had to create engagement and entertainment for them. And so it wasn't a vacation. It was just a trip with the family. And so while still fun, and I feel like we created memories, I had always wanted to go to Disney.
Yeah. You were like, probably ever since we've been married.
Before we even had kids,
yes. You were always pushing Disney. And for some odd reason, because I had never been, I just had associated Disney with kid, not fun, like not creative, like cool, you'll ride some rides, but just nowhere near.
Because you had been to like a basic amusement park.
Correct. I also worked at Medieval Times, so like I understood the entertainment business as my lords and my ladies.
I mean, that's what you thought. Like
100%.
That's what it was going to be. And so I finally wore you down.
100%.
After like 2020 was a hard year.
Yeah.
And so I think we got to the end of 2020 and I was like, hey, what if we did Disney for Christmas? It had just reopened a couple months before. Prices were good. Like it was an easier thing for us to do. We had been saving and we had like money to be able to go on a trip. It just wasn't something that we naturally did. And nobody was traveling before that year.
Yeah, 100%.
We had the fever. So anyway, I broke you down.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
You chipped away at my walls until you were like, I was like, I remember it pretty clearly. I was like, okay, fine. Like I literally, those were probably my exact words because I was like, We might as well.
And I was a planner by nature.
Correct.
But also I had no idea what we were getting into. So like booking was easy for me. But there also was not, I mean, there was no Fast Pass. There was no Genie Plus. There was no dining plans.
Masks were still very
Masks were
heavy.
still required. Like it literally was like you could book the package, the ticket and room package, but it was social distancing at the parks and mask even outdoors and no character meet and greets. Like it was just like we experienced Disney at like a level that everybody's like, what is this? But for us,
oh my gosh, I was in love with it.
it was, I mean, like I
fell in love with Small World. Like that tells you how much I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. Like,
because we had not been and experienced Disney at its best, Disney at its worst was still like so good.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was my first time, like as a 30-year-old man, I was like, or 33, where however old I was, as I don't know my own age. I was just fascinated by it. I fell in love with it. Maybe it was a little bit of my 90s nostalgic millennial heart, but it was
the
also...
service was still so good. Like it was still Disney service. Anyway, so 2020, I broke you down. We booked the trip. We didn't know what we were missing out on because everything that was still accessible to us and the quality of service that we did get was still amazing. To the point where we got home and we said, why don't we do this again for spring break?
Yeah.
So 2021... we went for spring break and we're like, okay, that's it. I know that those are two really close together, but like we're done. People don't go to Disney this frequently.
Yeah. And we didn't go. Like, did we not? Like after spring break, we didn't go.
We
talked about the summer, but we were like, oh, this doesn't make sense for us.
Well, we did a spring break trip because we were traveling. We moved from we did spring break 2021 because we were moving.
Oh, that's right.
We knew that we weren't going to get a summer vacation because we were moving over this summer. So we did a spring break vacation with the kiddos and then moved to Nashville and then had no other plans to go back to Disney. Like that was
the thing.
That was it. Like we did Christmas and immediately decided to go do spring break as well, which is only like, it was like 3 months later, maybe 4 months later.
4.
I can't remember if it was March or April.
So it was April because spring break here is in March.
Okay, and there it was in April. And I think we decided it because we were amazed at how different it felt. Like it didn't feel like relocating the chaos anymore.
Yes.
It like we had options and we had to pick where we were going to eat and we had to pick what park we were going to go do that day and what ride we wanted to go do. But there was just continually so many different new experiences and then still like things that our kids had remembered from last time that had instantly become like a favorite. And so it was just for us, it was mentally so much easier to not have to come up with things to do. Yep. It was all there before us. The hard part was what part are you going to do today? And we chose the things that were best for our kids. So we did a lot of Magic Kingdom the first couple of trips, a lot of Animal Kingdom the first couple of trips because those were best. I mean, Logan was 2 the first time we went. Yeah. And Livy was 6, maybe. I think she had like just turned 6.
Yeah.
So like they were little and Logan couldn't ride everything yet. So Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
We didn't do a ton of Epcot.
I don't even know that we visited Epcot the first couple times. I think it was just those 2 parks, but there was still so much to do there.
Yeah, and we loved it. And then, I mean, it kind of started our obsession with the October trip. We moved. It's funny because I think what you said there is like instead of relocating the chaos, Disney for us was as almost its own vacation planner. It's like
a vacation buffet for me.
Okay, explain.
Like there's just all of these different options of things you can do. And if you're doing it on a budget, like you can still make that work. There's so much that is included that you should not feel like you're missing out if you don't do an extra paid experience. Yeah. All of the different attractions, all of the different rides, things that you can see and participate in, like you just have to, you can pick and choose what is best for your family. And I love that as we continue to go back, like there are some things that we really like to continually do. But I also love the thrill of doing something we haven't done before. It's new to us. And there's still so many things. That's probably one of my favorite things. We've been a ridiculous amount of times in 3 years now.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot we haven't done.
100%. Well, and I know it seems like Disney is financially unattainable for a lot of people. And I think, to be honest, they have priced a lot of individuals out, which is kind of sad. But I think you can do it budget consciously in the way that you can go every other year or every 2 years or every 3 years. So
you have to decide at what level you want to experience Disney and what your motivation for going is. One of the questions I like to ask clients is like, what is most important to you about this trip? And like what are your expectations and what are the memories you want to make? That's one of the big things I ask my clients. What are the memories you want to make? Is it that you got to see a character together? Is it that magical moment you had that you weren't expecting at a sit down dinner or something like that? So really it's the expectation of what do you want your trip to be?
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody would say we want to have a good time and we want it to be easy and not stressful. Okay. There's a way that means something different to everybody. And there's a way that you can do it. There is a very, very budget friendly way that you can do Disney. You can also choose that you want to just go big. You want to do all the things that you've seen on the blogs. That might be a once every 5-year trip for you.
It might be a once in a lifetime trip. Like you just depending on how hard you're going.
And you have to decide what is the point of going on this vacation. And I feel like it's genuinely that with any vacation.
Yeah.
Like, are there things that you want to do that you want to post on Instagram, or are there memories that you want to create? Is it both? I mean, so.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why travel for our family has been very important. Like we made the conscious decision in 2021, maybe just the start of Disney, that we wanted to build great memories with our kids. And so that's how I think we're evolving, because our kids are now at a great age where, yes, they love Disney. Like they love doing night swims. They love seeing characters, riding rides.
And night swims you could do anywhere, but it has become like just a part of our own personal family memory. Like you did it once and it is like canon now.
Yeah, 100%. Like to the point where last time I was like, we can't do it because they haven't started heating the pools and it was cold and it was like a big deal. But I think that's one of the reasons why, not night swims, but just building those memories is one of the reasons why travel is so important. So we have like consciously made a decision to save, but also figure out ways to travel more with our kids. And so I think that's how we're evolving from Disney. You are really like next year for us is a Disney cruise. This is going to be a family thing, which I'm excited to explore that. At Disneyland, we've never been, but we also talked about like, what does it look like to do a small international trip or like just get it out of the Disney. It's evolving
because our kids are getting older.
Yeah.
I would say for the past 3 years, we've gone, Logan was 2 when we started. He's 5 now. Livy was 6 when we started. She's almost 9. It has been, I think for the past 3 years, for this age specifically, and if we had known better, we would have started younger.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, Logan was pretty young. He was 2, but this is just so accessible and so family friendly at Disney. Like they can help accommodate so many different things to just make your trip as easy as possible. And I think that as a mom juggling everything else, to be able to go and know that I can ask for help or somebody will see me struggling and give me the support that I need. And everything's just built to be accessible for the family. And so I think that's really what made it a no-brainer for these last 3 years.
But our kids are older now and evolving. So like it's to a point where they're asking for new experiences. Like Livy's talking about Grand Canyon, Redwood Forest, which we're not quite there yet because as I think that they'd get bored really quick. like, so we're a couple of years away from that, but we're trying to figure out new and creative ways to keep our kids engaged because travel is important to our family. Like you said earlier, like, I think life is made of small decisions on what's important to you. So like either work's important to you, family life balance is important to you, travel, sports, kids. Like we're trying to figure out all the dynamics. And for us, we have probably prioritized over some extracurricular activities that travel is the thing we're going to do as a family. And it has been, I don't know, for us, creating great memories with our kids and knowing our kids. Like Livy loves to draw, loves like the art side of things. Logan, I am creating a little mini me in the dorky, nerdy way.
He is hardcore into the nerd fandoms with you now. And I mean, there are so many potential extracurriculars that our kids could be doing. We're not sports inclined. I mean, you have some talent. I have none. But I think why we're okay saying travel is their extracurricular is because it is a skill. Literally, I feel like a skill. Like maybe not like learning the piano. Yeah. But I feel like it's going to be a useful skill for them either going into the workplace later on or just enjoying their life.
Well, and I think that they've seen us how we've been able to even go on vacation and work a little bit, figure that life balance out. Because every vacation we've gone on isn't like, cool, we turn off work and we're like the parks at 8 a.m. Like,
yeah. We both work from home. We both have those jobs that are like not always 24/7, but they're very accessible. You need to be accessible.
Yeah. So I think that they're them figuring out how to balance that, and we don't do it well all the time, and they understand that, but them getting the experience of travel, meeting new people, engaging with people in different scenarios, like, and understanding like social cues and stuff, like they understand that stuff, and that's important to us as a family. So I'm excited about this because I feel like the podcast for us is to talk about, honestly, us relive some memories, talk about like, okay, as parents who have chosen to travel more with our kids, it's how do we do that well? How do we save money? What travel hacks, like the companion pass, like all those types things, but also talking about like your knowledge as a travel agent. And as we've talked to people like in the same season of our life, they've asked us tons of questions about like, okay, how do you do this? How do you travel with kids on an airplane? All this. So I'm excited to share a little bit of that and just honestly get to create with you.
And not experts at all. Just
100%. We're learning along the way.
Experience is our best teacher.
Yeah. I mean, and we have
had some experiences,
some very weird experiences, but those are for another time. All right. We are a little focused on Disney, if you don't know that about us, but any quick hits on news this week that people should be aware of?
No, literally nothing.
Nothing this week?
Nothing has come out this week. So what I would say recently with Disney, something that we're seeing this year that I did not see last year is a lot more promotional deals going on for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So if you are considering any holiday travel, it's still available. So, and there are still like promotional discounts associated with that. And the beginning of the year, January, February is some of our favorite time to travel. 1, the weather's great. 2, most people have gone full throttle back into school and to work, and they're not considering travel. You should consider traveling, and there are a lot of great discounts. I would also say if you're not super keen or you don't have to like travel for Christmas, hold off and travel for January, February, because dining plans are coming back in 2024. New things are happening with Genie Plus, and we may see, they haven't quite told us yet, but we may see some things that feel more like the old FastPass system. That's the rumor on the street. There is no like
hard facts
on that. But there's murmurs. But we're also seeing
park reservations.
So park reservations are going away. If you have a dated ticket, you no longer need a park reservation. For our annual pass holders, they'll probably have to still have a park reservation. But so in 2024, once everything kicks in, I think it's January 9th, you will no longer have to wait till 2 p.m. to park hop. You can go over to Magic Kingdom, ride Space Mountain, hop on the monorail, go immediately over to Epcot.
Which is wild.
Which is huge. So if you wanted to do all 4 parks in a day, it's a lot more accessible. I still don't suggest it, but there are a lot of great changes coming for 2024. So if you have not traveled in a while, and if you do not need to be there for the holidays, I would suggest an early winter trip for 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be a great year in 2024. For us, we might go on a cruise. So we're also going to take the podcast on the road. I don't know if I've told you this.
We're taking the podcast on the road. I'm learning things.
Yeah, you with our viewers, or all 5 of them. Thanks for joining us. Like you said, welcome to Delilah.
Delilah, love someone tonight. Something like that, right?
I don't know.
You don't remember Delilah?
Listen, I remember Delilah, but you have the brain that holds on to pop culture references way better than anybody I know.
Do you know what I heard the other day on the TikToks?
What?
On the TikToks.
TikTok's real old, lady.
The real old lady. Somebody said there's a whole generation of women that refuse to go to counseling, but they would call Delilah and tell them all of their man problems.
Oh, that's the best. Oh, 100%. Well, we are taking this on the road. I think what's going to be great is I want to do a couple of these on the cruise, who's in different environments talking about it. I also we're staying for the first time at a deluxe resort. Heard that.
I took you to a deluxe resort last year.
Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
No. We went to Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking of the house.
I have treated you, okay?
Whoa. All right, sugar mama. God rest the soul of the Galactic Star Cruiser. Moment of silence. But yes, you have taken us, but we're going to stay for Christmas with the kids at the Poly, which I think we're so excited.
It's a split stay. So in case you don't know what a split stay is, a split stay is where you stay at one resort and then you stay at another resort. So we're arriving a little early.
Yep, staying at
the Poly
for 2 days
because we ain't bougie like that.
We can't afford more than 2 days at the. We're saving up for the Poly.
We're going over to Pop, which Pop is our favorite value resort. We absolutely love the Skyliner. But yeah, so we have fun things.
So and take it to Pop. I just want to try new things and
we're bringing all of this.
I mean, we're gonna bring these and maybe the cameras. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured out.
We have to fly on a plane.
Correct.
Okay, the travel planner in me is freaking out right now.
Well, I'm freaking out a little bit now that you've told me. But thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We're excited about this new season for us on holiday.
On holiday, it's gonna be too muffled.
No, it's not. Maybe it will be, but I've got. Oh, the one thing before we end. What you don't know, do you have laugh tracks. There's laugh tracks and clap tracks. Ready? See you next time.